Hello, it's the second Sunday in May, which means it's time for the Love of Vintage stroke Shabby Chic collaboration with the Scottish crafter. Unfortunately, my very first piece of footage has gone missing from this video, but I'm in the process of making an altered jigsaw piece. I have picked the piece of the jigsaw that I want to work with. I picked this piece because it's got different sides to it. And I have taken an emery board to it just to roughen it up a bit so the paint will stick better. And I've already started painting this side, and I'm just using my journal as like a mop-up page for it. And I'm just using gesso, Pebeo gesso, this huge pot which I got for a really good price. And I am sponging the paint on, because that's what I normally do with gesso. So I will speed this bit up because nobody wants to see or watch paint dry. So I am happy with that. You see that the back bubbled where I used the heat gun on it, but I'm really not worried about that. In fact, I might even use that side instead because it's got some texture to it and it would actually work really well with what I want to do with it. Next, I'm going to add some paper artsy paints, primarily the Seth Apter set. So those include the terracotta, the midnight, the mahogany and buff. Now I will mostly be using these three, which is the mahogany, midnight and terracotta. This I'll use to knock it back if I feel it's a bit too much. I am also using mud splat and green patina. And again, key lime just to knock it back, but if I want to leave some colour, because the buff is an opaque and this is a semi-opaque. So in the paper artsy paints, they are chalk acrylics, and you get opaque, semi-opaque and translucent. And obviously that's fairly obvious what they all mean. You can see by the, and these are the actual colours on the front, so it's not printed on, it is painted on. And you can see that you obviously can't see through this, and then you can see through the end. This one's somewhere in between. I'm going to start off with mahogany, and I'm going to apologise that my fingers are already grubby, but I've obviously just done the gesso, so it would be kind of daft to clean them, start again and get them more painty. The thing to mention about paper artsy paints as well is that you do need to shake them before you use them each time. What I will do is put this on fast forward because nobody wants to watch paint dry, but I will try to remember to show you the colour I'm using to the camera. So I've just grabbed my mat so I can squirt the paint onto there. Again, I've placed it on my journal so that any spillage or mop up I can use as a page. I'm using a perfect medium pad around the edge of the jigsaw and randomly in the middle. This is a glue pad, and I'm going to be using 3 embossing powders from the Seth Apter Bake Texture Collection 1. So I start off with patina oxide, and then Rocky Road, and finally the Chunky Rust. I'm using a catalogue page because I find that it's shiny, so the embossing powder slips off a lot easier back onto my project or back into the pot, and then just simply heat it as normal. Just to quickly show you the textures and colours from those embossing powders, I'm using this cigarette card that I got in a pack from Foil Play, and I'm just going to cut it out because obviously it's too big as it is for the jigsaw, and I do believe that it's King George. This particular batch of cigarette cards also has another side on it because it's a postcard, so you've got 2 sides you could use there. I've decided where I want him to go, and I've got some brads. There's a key brad and a lock and 2 screw heads. I painted the brads and then added them to the jigsaw piece, and I've used paper artsy paints in terracotta, mud splat and green patina. I'm going around the image in vintage photo distress ink, and then just going to add a bit of shape to it so it's not too flat. I've decided to add my image with Pin Flare glue gel just to give it a bit of height, and also this enables me to tuck pieces of ephemeral embellishments behind the image, so I can just have them poking out randomly. I've got for my embellishments some cogs which I've made from paper clay. It was black paper clay, and then I've painted them. I can't remember what paints I used because I've had them sitting in my stash for a while, but I've obviously got broken pieces and whole pieces just to make it a bit interesting. And a lot of this is just deciding where I'm going to put things, how big I want things to be, and etc, etc. So it's just faffing basically. Then I decided to add some of the midnight, I think this is the midnight paint from Paper Artsy. So I'm just adding that around the edges just to finish it off and add a bit of colour and kind of to give it a bit more definition to the border. I've covered the face of the image so I can add some splats. I'm using my fan brush and some water in the Midnight Paper Artsy paint. That's my old jigsaw piece finished. I hope you enjoyed seeing me make this particular piece for the Love of Vintage Shabby Chic collaboration with the Scottish crafter. If you don't subscribe already, I would love you to do so. Please give this video a thumbs up, feel free to share it, and thank you for watching. Until next time, cheerio!